Wouldn't bet on Peter winning that fight. Took all 5 of us to beat him last time.
I still can't believe he caught one of my smart bombs. Just like that.
We have already fought the man.
Hold on, you don't remember?
I remember sparring against the Celestial Madonna in a small village. And then the cold darkness of the promise devouring my soul. Until you found me.
Yeah, you missed a lot.
My shoulders are sore.
Yeah, Mantis is heavier than she looks.
How is she connected with my soreness?
She rode your back all the way down the caves to Goldie's place?
Really?
Did you just...
You have closed the refrigerator door.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
I thought I was the only one who ever bothered.
I thought I was the only one.
I observed the tree closing at once.
Glad you're back on our side, Drax. I got a feeling we'll need to go full destroyer on this one.
I shall be ready, Peter Quill. I have witnessed the threat posed by Magus firsthand. No one should suffer from its malignant lies. I owe all of you a great debt of gratitude. It would be my honor to fight beside you with all of my might.
That's a lot of might. Groot agrees with you, Muscles.
Sounds like we've got ourselves a nice church butt-kicking party.
I only hope our guest agrees to join this buttocks-striking celebration.
Moore, are you okay letting Mantis fight the church alone out there?
She won't fight. She'll focus on evacuating people. Maybe they can all hide in the caves.
So she's just gonna let the church take over her homeworld?
Mantis would tell you that people matter more than the planet. And she knows that the church won't stop coming until we rescue Nikki.
You have great confidence in this Celestial Madonna.
She's one of the few people I know I can trust.
Really? She freaks me out.
Because she's smarter than you?
And kinder.
Hey, that nickname makes my skin crawl. I'm furry, not fuzzy. Not even that little. Hey, Quill.
You seem like you're in a good mood.
Do I? I've got a great idea for a new blaster extension. Can't wait to put it together.
Well, now that the gang's back together and we've got a minute to breathe, I think you deserve an official thank you for what you did on Lamentus.
Quill,
I know you don't like that kind of sappy stuff, but I really mean it. Knowing about the crap those scientists did to you, not only does it make my blood boil, it puts everything into perspective.
come on. It was just a puddle.
I don't know if I could have gotten over something like that.
You saved their lives, man. You deserve a bit of praise.
You rode and saved your lives, and scientists were involved. I have many questions.
Yeah, we'll save them for the next time we all get a drink together, buddy. Okay, let's make some flarkin' cool stuff. Why do you tease me with crafting, Quill?
Did you reach Cosmo? It may be up to us to stop the church in nowhere. You ready?
I am Groot.
He's worried about the mutt. Says it would be easier with his help.
I didn't think Cosmo would let the church take over a station. But if they got the Cortex, then...
He is but one canine against the army of the converted.
I take it Groot didn't reach Cosmo?
No dice.
The tree is persistent. He will keep trying.
He was the most convinced we could bring you back, you know? I don't know if it's optimism or stubbornness, but it works for him.
Hey, Warlock. Open up. This is my room, you know. And that would be my cassette cover.
You penned this pithy poetry?
It's not poetry, it's music. Hard rock. It's supposed to have guitars and bass and drums.
Simplistic scriptures, as is its scribe.
Okay. What's your deal, man? What did I do to piss you off?
Your lamentable leadership allowed the Madonna to leave when we needed her talents to travel to the telepathic realm.
Mantis had good reason to stay behind. We just need to get Nikki and get the hell out so we can find her again.
Your tenuous tactics trust too much to fortune. Can you confidently convince me your meager measures may amply manage this mission?
Yes. Absolutely.
Wise words. Sure and measured. But beheld by my bemused misgivings, your demeanor differs distinctly in direction from my more willful ways.
Maybe we can meet in the middle then.
Yes. An oath! Will you own an oath to operate with greater aggression? To give gravitas to gravid seasons of your soul and struggle not to stand on destiny's icy flows?
Sure, man. Whatever it takes.
Then assert it!
I swear I'll be a good leader. That I'll be decisive and that I won't let Mantis do whatever she wants.
I stand partially reassured.
What about you, Mr. Fancy Words? How do I know you won't see Raker and have a change of heart?
Why would I weasel away?
Didn't you used to be best buds with him?
We were common company for a fleeting fallow, through which I witnessed the incommensurable extent of his sadness. He mourns his lost son.
That's why he's doing all of this. The church, the matriarch? Because he wants to get his kid back. But that can't happen, right? Magus can't...
No, cannot.
So? We can count on you? When you reunite with Raker, that man's gotta go down.
Indubitably.
Rodent, you mentioned the Madonna riding my shoulders through the caves.
Yep.
There was more than one cave then.
You really don't remember anything at all?
I have a vague recollection of dampness.
Yep, that would be the caves.
Thanos sucked.
So, Warlock. He's something.
Not sure we can trust the guy who looked at the Grand Unicorn himself and thought, the lad looks like a reliable rascal.
He simply knows that the true evil is Magus. Raker is but an impressionable fanatic.
A fanatic with a lot of firepower.
What am I doing? Everyone on this ship's been using this. Not today, brain parasites.
So, how is he?
Frustrating. It's like talking to Suzanne Harris at the summer dance all over again.
Ain't that the Hume girl you tried to impress with your yo-yo skills?
Yeah, and it went about as well as talking to Mr. Cape.
What's a yo-yo?
Please, recount your adventures in the caves of Lamentis. I should be informed of what I cannot recall.
Well, we found you in the village and Mantis knocked you out. Then we went down the caves until we found the cocoon.
Whoa there, you missed all the best parts. Like when Groot slapped the ancient tree god.
Hey, that one's from Lamentis. Does that mean it's a sacred plant? Groot, Did you steal a sacred plant from Lamentus?
Would a wanton hand supply sustenance to this chamber?
He's asking for room service now?
We'll have to patch that tunnel.
I hope Peter Quill has convinced our guest to fight alongside us.
Judging from the tone of voice, he was more annoyed than convinced.
Which one? Quill or Golden Boy? They both sounded annoyed.
Annoyed or not, we have to work with him. We need someone strong enough to keep Raker in check if we want any chance to get to Nikki.
That explains why we ain't been able to reach Cosmo. If you don't answer it, they'll vaporize us.
I will handle this communication.
All yours, buddy.
Hail, traveler. Have you accepted the truth of a divine promise?
We have. My deceased wife and daughter are with me. Thank the matriarch for her gift.
May the promise be fulfilled. You are clear to land at the spaceport.
All them bars. And betting parlors.
And noodle joints.
Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
I assume it will be worse.
Raker rallies regiments, while we wait whistling in the wings.
Landing as fast as I can, Gold.
What the flark? Great! Cocoon Boy thinks he's a butterfly now!
He is a man of action.
Let's just hope that he can keep the church busy while we look for Nikki.
Didn't think you'd be able to bluff your way through security muscles.
I am quite adept at deception.
We're gonna need more than that to get to the Continuum Cortex and rescue Nikki.
Especially with Golden Boy jumping ship. Should we, like, try to find him?
Time is running out. We cannot lose focus if we are to save the girl.
Drax is right. Let's just hope Warlock can do a bit of damage on his side. So, final showdown against Raker. This time, you'll get him for good.
I intend to. We're not leaving here without Nikki. Just so you know, I'll do everything I can to save your girl. I know it's important to you.
You take care of the Milano, okay? Make sure the ship's still here when we come back.
I am Groot.
Groot wants you to know he'll do all he can to save your kid.
You know what? I think I kinda understood that.
I am Groot.
Same here. Can't wait to whoop some rogue flarkers. Your kid sure got herself in a deep, Quill.
Her mom died, man. If Warlock's telling the truth, that thing inside her is using Corell's death to manipulate her.
I get it. Ain't gonna be easy getting her out of there, but I'll die trying. Gotta make the Flarkers pay for what they did to Nowhere. And Contraxia. And all the killing and converting and stuff.
Ready, Drax?
I am. My blades are as sharp as the rodent's tongue.
Was that a metaphor?
It was a simile.
Just wanted to make sure you didn't have any lingering effects from the promise.
I know the evil it conceals. Magus and the Church must be stopped.
Let's do this. Time to save Nikki.
Peter.
Okay. Just be cool. Let me handle these guys.
Welcome, travelers. Have you come to witness the fulfillment?
The what now?
The realization of the Matriarch's promise? The beginning of a new world, one without death, or pain, or fear. You should know this. Weren't you vetted and cleared to land here?
What? Of course we were.
How are you not aware of the fulfillment? Something is wrong. These heretics must be stopped. Attack!
Rocket! Do your thing! Set it free!
He's boosting their power! They're gonna hit hard!
That's not good! Stop them!
Flyer's healing the others!
What are you waiting for? Shoot him in the face!
No fair! He's boosting everyone but us!
Let's sever his ties that bind!
Get on the Flyer! He's healing his team!
Feel my faith!
Show him some muscle!
He's off his game! Let's knock him down!
Let us deal the final blow! Hey, Quill! Wanna see some fireworks?
I'm ready! Just find me an opening!
Bust down your smart bombs!
He's open! Go to town on him, big guy! Wacko's better pray their new world comes without death or pain or fear, cause I'm gonna kill him for flarking up this spaceport.
They have been. Been very busy redecorating.
All the more reason for us to get to the Cortex and find Nikki.
Assuming we find the girl, how do we sever her connection with Magus?
We don't, if Cocoon Boy ain't around to suck it up afterward.
We'll just have to reason with her.
We're wasting time, Peter. I don't like the sound of that fulfillment thing.
I am Groot.
What was that?
He says you, seem tense.
Cosmos Tower's shut down.
That's because it's never been dark before. You do realize some of the guys shooting at us were nowhere security?
This does not bode well for the dog.
Never was the Mutt's biggest fan, but we could have used the backup telepath.
If Cosmo is on their side, getting to the Cortex could be a lot harder.
Just because the tower shut down doesn't mean Cosmo is too. Last time we were here, he knocked out me, Gamora, and Drax, and Lady Hellbender's bounty hunters, like it was nothing. We just gotta have faith he's okay.
Really, Peter? Faith?
There does appear to be an excess of it stored here.
Yeah. Kinda dreading what we're gonna see in the marketplace.
The same thing we saw when we flew in.
Yeah, but it'll be up close. Nowhere really stunk sometimes, but...
Flark! Over there!
There's so many of them. I thought most nobodies would have rejected the promise.
Everyone wants something they can't have.
Yeah, but these crooks were suspicious of anyone giving them anything for free.
Yeah, I don't know, Rocket. Like Gamora said, everybody wants something.
The church tailors their offer to the individual.
Seems to me most of them would give in.
Or they'd be killed. Not an easy choice.
They got Flark and Faith batteries everywhere.
Just like on Hell's Hope.
Perhaps they have built another giant ray gun inside the Continuum Cortex.
To siphon faith from multiple worlds at once? Is that even possible?
The energy ain't filling these batteries. It's moving away from them.
So they're powering something.
Sure looks like it.
When we are done here, we will need to tell a Rhapsodus about these adventures.
Oh, what?
They are the keepers of Catathian lore. This will be an epic tale.
Lousy fun Flarkers! Get ready to die!
They do not fear death.
Don't mean we
Okay, I think we got the drop on these guys.
Make your heads down! We need to hurry!
All my blows are fatal! We should be better prepared!
My blade's not dulled yet! Bring him on! Nice to meet you! More batteries the deeper we go. 100 units says they're tied to the fulfillment.
Priest said that they were bringing...
They can't raise the dead, especially after we save Nikki.
Don't suppose we could try tricking them again? Make them believe we're all promised up?
Not unless you can fake that purple glow they all seem to have. I've been thinking about what Warlock said.
Which part? He hasn't stopped talking since we met him.
About how Nikki and that Magus thing might be too intertwined to save her.
Is that what he said? It's easier to understand Bug Lady.
Over here! Looks like we can squeeze through.
We must be close to Mantlo's bar. Can you see it?
Not really. There's a lot of debris in the way.
There is no way through this wall.
Could be a bunch of wackos just...
Peter!
Well, that didn't work.
Clark, I'm going in.
What about the fanatics?
I'll toast them if I see them. We're the only ones that can do this, right?
Gamora, you should be able to get your sword in there now. Give me a boost.
Let's hope it holds. I had a contact here.
Oh, Scott! Not Mantlo's. Look at her. This is personal, Quill.
Don't leave me hanging. Cortex. Seemed pretty secure last time.
Wasn't half as secure as the dog thought.
There has been no sign of Goldie Braun since he left from our ship.
Adam Warlock.
Might be splattered somewhere across the lower city.
Or got picked up by a wandering... I know how much you love this dive.
It was the one spot in this whole Flarkin galaxy where a guy could feel safe. I mean, except for the bar brawls and the security raids and the bounty hunters.
We'll drink to it later. Right now, we've got to keep moving.
Wonder if any of these fortune tellers saw this coming.
Unlikely. They were all charlatans.
Most of them were pickpockets and fences. Pretty useful people to know. Yeah, what do we need the Golden Boy for anyways? We were doing fine without him.
I was not fine. Magus was devouring my soul. Your memory is suspect.
You know why we need Warlock to stop Magus's space magic ritual? We don't know space magic!
Yeah, because that ain't a real thing.
Man, I'm not so sure anymore, not after Lamentus. None of this makes any sense, but Mantis gave us somebody who can fight it.
Somebody who also makes little sense.
Exactly! I think. He can deal with his evil twin.
Sweep nearly complete.
I smell death.
Ours or theirs?
Theirs. I am an optimist.
More turkeys dropping in!
They'll be dropping like flies soon enough. This looks like a dead end.
For some more than others.
There is still no sign of the Warlock.
Based on when he jumped, he's probably already in the lower city.
In a busted heap.
Improbable. He magically shaved when our backs were turned.
Looks like the church is trying to keep us out of there.
That's not gonna work.
Whoa. The Emporium used to be right here. Did the church destroy it?
Doubt it. The Collector probably blasted out of here at the first sign of trouble.
Before the first sign, the Collector's supposed to be able to see the future.
Wait, how did he move the whole Emporium?
It was a ship.
Huh. Never would have guessed it from the inside.
Maybe it's more of a shuttle. Maybe it's more of a shuttle.
I am Groot.
Groot's right. We're getting distracted.
Careful, Peter Quill.
Guys, look down. It's an awful lot of light.
You're thinking it's the full Flarkman, ain't you? But it could just be runoff from the cables. Whatever these whack jobs are up to, they need a lot of juice.
Perhaps this is how they powered their fleet to reach Lamentus.
The Cortex could handle that on its own.
Maybe Raker's trying to reanimate the Celestial Head. Bring it back to life?
Perhaps he wishes to turn it into a ship.
This thing's deader than dead. It ain't coming back, and it ain't jumping through no hyperspace.
They say Celestials are powered by hyperspace. Regardless, we must reach the Undercity to find the girl and stop whatever they are doing.
And we'll have to be ready for them to try and stop us.
The converted ones will be prepared to die in order to bring their loved ones back to life.
Which is pretty ironic if you think about it.
Our level of cooperation is invigorating. We have become a formidable team.
Yep, sure have, Drax.
Ain't we just one big, happy Flarkin family?
What are you doing with that garbage?
She's not garbage.
Behold the power of the light! Via Magnati! The Guardians of the Galaxy! Save the believers and alert the Grand Unifier! The fulfillment must not be stopped!
That's it! He finally snapped!
Gamora! Wait for us! Rocket! Safety's off! Hey, what the fuck, Gamora?
He ain't right in the head right now! Again?
More arriving! Gamora slices through them like butter! Gamora! What's going on? We have to protect her!
He just went bonkers!
Something's up! Set it their way, Drax!
Ready!
Breathing room, Groot!
Groot's right! That one's gonna hit hard now!
Watch it, Drax!
Foul magic! The sorcerer's healing the others!
All the more reason to kill him first!
Man, are we even putting a dent in this guy?
Rejoice, for you all!
Danger close, Rocket!
It ain't my fault he's acting like this!
You aren't the only one fighting this battle, Gamora! She is not herself! The blockhead's amping up his buddies!
Let's sever his ties that bind! You won't ruin her this time!
There are more arriving!
Wish we found some flarking hover bikes!
You are made strong through faith!
What's next, Peter?
My great strength goes underutilized!
Her light
So he just
surges!
go around healing his pal!
Not again!
Again?
You good?
Never better.
Yep, definitely not good. Gamora, wait, hold on a sec.
Why? So more children can be sacrificed in the name of Rager's flarked up church?
Of course not.
Just what, Peter?
I don't know. Breathe.
Every minute we waste. We don't have time to breathe.
I know Raker brings back bad memories.
This isn't about Thanos. It's about Nikki and what men like Raker and Thanos do to girls like her. Like me. My sister. If I had just been better at protecting Nebula, maybe she wouldn't be dead.
Whoa. What? Nebula's dead? How? By who? Tell me, so I can find him and shake his Kratakan hand.
By me.
You killed your sister?
She is the one you saw in the Matriarch's promise.
That's how I knew it was a lie. The Nebula I knew had been twisted into a hateful, vengeful monster thing. One who would never stop unless I stopped her. So I did. I just never expected to survive.
Why didn't you say something?
It's not exactly a conversation starter. Hi, I'm Gamora. I murdered my sister. Can we be friends? Of course we can't. How can you be friends with a monster? Why would you want that on your team? A team I actually kind of enjoyed being on, all things considered.
Well, I hate Nebula, so I actually would have... What? I'm just saying it don't change nothing.
Actually, it changes everything. The most deadly woman in the galaxy just admitted she loves us.
I did not.
You did. You said you were in love with us right after the part about killing your sister.
I said I enjoyed your company.
That is the Catathian definition of love.
Like. I'll give you like. Can we just move on?
Agreed. That's about all the love fest I can take.
We accept you, Gamora Zenuburi.
Pretty sure we're married now.
This is excruciating.
All right, I'm pretty sure we've all caught our breath. Let's say we go stop a nutjob cult leader.
Yes.
Incoming!
Gamora, put him down! Why are there so many of them?
Goes to show how many unhappy people there are!
No! I wasn't being insensitive! They grabbed the lump!
CPU, we're barely touching this thing!
Things built up! We need to really pile it on!
Peter! Drax needs help!
I will end you! They are coming at us from everywhere! We're gonna stop them every time! This adversary is well fortified!
It's all you, Gamora!
Still can't believe you killed Nebula!
Not now, Rocket! Just gonna get harder from here!
I relish the challenge! It is as venerable as it is large! We must break it!
With access to the Cortex, who knows how many reserve forces they can bring in here. We gotta shut it down!
Let's get to the bridge. Cosmos Tower is the quickest way.
You know, I usually hated when that Cosmos spotlight would shine down on me, but now I kinda miss it.
I did not know you were so sentimental.
Almost drowning changes a guy.
That seems long enough for a bridge.
Unless it crumbles when it falls.
Drax?
I have been eager to topple something over.
So, Gamora... How am I supposed to drop the most interesting thing she's ever done?
You should be prepared in case the Grand Unifier arrives.
I'm more than ready.
Why do they keep blocking everything off?
Because now they expect us.
We need to find another way to the bridge.
You see that kid in the ritual thing?
I could not miss him.
You think the church did that to his head? Or was the poor sucker born like that?
Really? A Fate force field?
If we can find the power source, we should be able to turn it off.
Let's get looking then.
You gotta disconnect the power, Quill.
Can't you do something to shut off the power? That's it, Peter! Let's go! We need to get out of here before Raker shows up.
All right, dead ahead! Let's book it!
Now is not the time for...
Guardians of the Galaxy. The Matriarch has chosen to enact the fulfillment from this station. then you shall not stop her.
She hasn't chosen anything. You've been manipulating her from the start.
She is the light, and I am merely her servant.
Kinda hard to be the light with that dark monster thingy inside of her.
Blasphemy! You may have rejected her promise, but you will believe when it returns you from death's cold clutches.
Your pain has pushed you to a perilous precipice, old friend.
How? It can't be. I saw you die.
The form is fleeting, but the foundation remains forever. Now cease this stubborn senselessness, before it reaps a ruinous reward.
Ruinous.
Oops.
Rocket! Move them! Now's your chance, Lord! Okay! We gotta get to that elevator!
Fucking snipers! Fast cowards!
We need to close this distance! The priest is boosting their prowess!
Boost me next!
No fair! He's boosting everyone but us!
Make sure you don't fall off!
Draw their fire while I cross to the next room!
Of course it was easier to get to before!
This'll work! We can leapfrog our way back onto the bridge!
Leapfrog?
It's a... just follow my lead!
I got all these toys I'm just dying to use!
This has got my name on it! Having fun preying on the weak?
Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump!
The Warlock is more down, I believe!
Stay away from the edges!
I'll lay down some cover fire to get you across!
We approach the dog's tower!
We still have to fight our way through!
Okay! We gotta get to that elevator!
Too bad they busted up the bridge!
Make sure you don't fall off!
Make sure those snipers don't hit you either! Running and gunning on rooftops! This is kind of fun!
We will need tattoos to commemorate this moment!
Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump!
I swear, if Warlock kills Raker before I get a chance...
Of course it was easier to get to before!
Perhaps this will tell tale of our battles here!
Oh man! Back on Earth, there was this great sword!
We're still at it!
Hope all the god stuff wasn't just talk!
We're sitting ducks!
Wrong on both counts!
He means we can't stay here!
On this we are agreed! seen a sign!
Being shot at ain't enough of a sign!
I am referring to the billboard! Perhaps it can be cut loose!
Of course it was easier to get to before!
Now it's Nova!
They're gonna need a huge recruitment drive after this!
Stay away from the edges!
I will toss them to their deaths! Just once I'd like to cross this bridge without incident!
You can thank Goldie for that!
The Warlock saved us from certain death!
I ain't scared of Raker and his little light show! Please, stay Hey, Will! Wanna see some fireworks?
What's next, Peter?
Stay down!
Rocket! Blast them!
Running and gunning on rooftops! This is kind of fun!
So now you're finally happy?
Like a fruit fly! I can't swat him! Brace yourself! Roof, snag him! Slice and dice!
So many lousy angles to cover!
That just gives us a fighting chance! Wipe them! Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump!
I swear, if Warlock kills Raker before
We don't
I
need
get a
Golden Boy
chance-
help!
Is that why you shot him?
Oh yeah, that was great. Right in the butt. Did you see the look on his face? It was all like, oh, my gilded glutes. Wriggle rare.
His perfect posterior! His
Champion cheeks.
Groot thinks we'll be nowhere royalty once we save it. Assuming they don't blame us for the Grand Unicorn, and the brainwashing cult, and the Magus World Destroyer thing. You know what? Maybe we should avoid no.
Do your worst, Faith Wizard!
Let's not add to our problems!
Running and gunning on rooftops. This is kind of fun.
So now you're finally happy?
Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump! The Warlock is more valiant than I believe!
Well, you're a big target, that's why.
Too close! We approach the dog's tower!
We still have to fight our way through!
Now it's Nova!
They're gonna need a huge recruitment drive after this.
Perhaps this will tell tale
How many
of our
are there?
battles here.
It's like all of nowhere showed up.
As long as they're here, they can't go through with the whatever they called it!
The full marksman.
That was not the name!
I like it better. Udaya.
Make sure you don't fall off!
I got jet boots, remember? Okay! We gotta get to that elevator!
Gonna have to use the rooftops!
Running and gunning on rooftops. This is kind of fun.
So now you're finally happy?
Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump!
I swear, if Warlock kills Raker before I get a chance,
Finally! I think they're giving up.
Just in time, because we're not getting back on that bridge.
I know where we are. There's a road nearby that intersects the main bridge to Cosmos.
Where?
It should be, right below us. What's so special about Goldie anyway? Yeah, he's strong, but what good is strong against ridiculous, unrelenting firepower? We need to be on the other side of this thing.
We're not getting over.
Would under suffice?
Drax, buddy, let's make a hole.
That's one way down.
The best way. Look, they're still at it.
The other guys seem to be winning.
Must suck to be a celestial head. Ba-ba-ba-boom, baby!
You sure are destroying a lot of advertising today.
Like we need another reminder to buy Calex cream.
Perhaps we should summon the ship to deliver us to our destination.
Ain't no way they'd let us land anywhere near the big party. Oh, you gotta be flarkin' kidding me.
This carnage brings back troubling memories of worlds I destroyed.
Don't suppose Groot knows another side route.
If I could just get to the other side, I could hack that thing and drop the bridge.
If you can get to the other side, we can get to the other side, and it wouldn't matter.
Throw me.
What?
Throw me! Just get muscles to huck me across.
Do you have any idea how far down it is if you miss?
We ain't got time to argue. I'll make it.
Leave this to me!
Warlock better not shoot a breaker before I
Whoa!
Glad that wasn't Rocket.
You are a valued member of this team, not a tool to be thrown about.
Worried about this ritual. And what's really gonna happen if we can't stop it.
Ain't gonna be dead people coming back, holding hands and wagging tails, that's for sure.
No.
We don't have to worry about that because we will stop it. More specifically, I'm gonna make Raker eat my element guns.
Perhaps shooting him would yield better results.
And then we're gonna bring my daughter home and that's
That's what worries you.
one problem at a time.
Dumb are these Flartnards to even fall for this full Flarkment garbage.
Magus demands adulation, trapping you with vile illusion while feeding on your soul.
I felt it in my promise too. That endless hunger.
Oh yeah. Hungry is an understatement.
Holy faith!
All that light isn't leading to the Cortex. It is the Cortex.
How could that mutt let this happen?
Looks like you'll get to ask him yourself.
This isn't going to end well.
Cosmo!
We've got to get down there!
Don't count him out just yet. I've seen him get out of worse scrapes.
Beast is being exposed to the promise.
Get away from my dog! We gotta keep him off Cosmo!
They will not touch him!
Thing's pretty tough for an old machine!
The solution is simple! We must take it out first!
Nobody kicks a dog on the
Oh, you're in trouble now! How many times have I saved your butt now?
Thanks, buddy! Put him down, you giant metal freak!
Take him in the nerves, Rocket!
Get away from my dog!
Beast! Caution!
Keep the breathing room, Groot!
Why does the dog not mind blast them?
I don't think he's in there no more!
I am Magate.
Osmo, you've got to snap out of it! They got Peter!
Get away from my dog! Good! Rocket! Go wild! Set it free! Cosmo! Talk to us here!
The dog is lost in memories of the past!
Is it me or we barely denting this thing?
It is as venerable as it is large! We must break it!
Carve him a new one! Nobody kicks a dog on my watch!
On our watch!
Groot says if you mess with the dog, you get the thorns! Ready!
We gotta keep him off Cosmo!
Let's worry about keeping them off of us first!
Smoke the rocket! Deadliest woman incoming!
Why does the dog not mind blast them?
Just buy him some time to recover!
Guys, what do we do about this big bot?
The contraption cannot predict our merciless unity!
Cosmo! Talk to us here!
The dog is lost in memories of the past!
Get ready! Help me
Another
out here!
focus! Oh, yeah! This battle is proving too worthy!
That was too close!
Special surprise!
Rocket! Fireworks!
I am in your debt, Peter Quill!
Barely a flesh wound! You'll be fine!
Prepare for pain!
Get him, Groot!
Gladly!
Can't even scratch that thing!
He can't get us all!
Oh,
Come on,
I
guys!
hope
Let's
that felt
mob
as
the
bad
bot!
as it looked!
Quill! Musclehead's in trouble!
Nobody kicks a dog on my watch!
Especially not that one!
Man, that giant robot can take a lot of pain!
We need to focus on taking it down! I guess this means there's no nowhere resistance!
We're the resistance now!
What's next, Peter?
Making
damn
sure
weirdos deserve it.
Having fun preying on the weak!
Peter Quill, unleash me onto these fools!
I can barely cut into his armor!
Pulverize them!
What the fuck are you doing? He's one of them now.
He's our friend.
Yeah, so is Drax. And I ain't going inside this fleabag's head.
Maybe it doesn't have to come to that. Hey, buddy. Are you,
Take him out before it's too late.
Wait! He's still in there! I can hear him!
I hear only barking.
Focus your mind! He's there!
Oh, Flark, it just shoot the mutts!
Easy, bud. Friends, remember?
Is Peter Quill? Cosmo knows never lie.
Yeah, buddy. It's me. It's all of us.
Where is Cosmo smelled? Smell of nowhere. Where else would we be, Furbrain?
His mind is addled. Or he is simply a dog.
He doesn't see us. He's still in the promise.
Cosmo, where are you? What do you see?
Blue sky and cars to chase. Cosmo is back. Duma, how you say? Home.
He's talking about Earth.
Smell of fresh grass. Feeling of dirt between paws. No psychic burden, just walkies for going. And the ball for fetching.
If you missed your home planet, could you not simply return at any time?
Not a time that matter. Same reason Carthagian not go home.
Nowhere is your home. Right here and now.
Nowhere is nothing. Deadheads, mind for scrap.
It's way more than that. This place is special.
If by met you mean I saved your bark, then yeah, we met here.
It's true. Nowhere was first place since Earth. Cosmo not feel like stray dog. First time, Cosmo forget what was lost.
This place is a haven for misfits like us. Like you. It's home. Earth is just some rock where you were born.
It's not about rock. It's about what Cosmo had on rock. Foot of bed for sleeping, belly for rubbing. Call her with name.
You miss being someone's property?
Cosmo not property. Belong to family. Then one day, family gone. Men in suits sent Cosmo into space. Cosmo searched many dog years for those he lost. But yet...
You had owners. It sounds like they gave you up.
What about your puppies, Cosmo? They're your family.
Cosmo young or...
They're here, man. And they're counting on you. For love, for protection.
But humans call for Cosmo to heal. Must be loyal.
Those pups actually need you. Be loyal to them. Don't abandon them in space the way you were.
Cosmo would never.
But you have. They're somewhere here on Nowhere, maybe needing your help right now.
Come on, Cosmo, you gotta know this doesn't smell right.
Piotr Quill is right. Cosmo human have no smell.
They are wicked perversions. You must bite them with all your might.
Be gone! Cosmo not fetch your lies.
That's it, buddy. You tell him.
Nowhere is Cosmo home be. His pups, his family, will protect at all costs.
Sick him, boy!
Should we help him? I mean, we may need him.
I am optimistic for the beast's recovery.
Cosmo's got his mission. We've got ours. Let's get to the Cortex. You think he'll be okay?
He's got a thick coat.
All right, I still got access codes from when me and Groot were on vacation.
You mean when you quit the team?
Why do you always gotta be so... Flark! Attacking Scratch Snatchers! Gah!
Cosmo changed the codes.
I guess so.
All right, people. Let's find another way through.
Perhaps you entered the code incorrectly. I have made the same mistake.
With those sausage fingers? Of course you have. These nimble digits don't make mistakes.
Yep. Drax, can you handle this?
An intriguing texture. I fear I will regret this.
Just don't start kicking up dust.
So, stolen codes, jail time. What exactly were you and Groot doing down here before?
We got a gig from an old contact at Mantlos before you barged in for a family reunion with Mr. No-Lips.
Not the weirdest guy I know.
You're the weirdest guy I know. What Flark was that?
An earthquake?
Unlikely. We are not on Earth.
Whatever they're doing, I think they just took it to the next level. Drax, how do you keep from breaking your hands smashing through everything?
Ritual must be starting soon.
Good question, bud. How do we know we can even stop something this powerful? Probably a question for the bug lady. Too bad she ditched us.
To save her people. She knows what she's doing, or...
Raker said Nikki chose nowhere for the ritual, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time letting that one go.
But that means Magus chose it. Probably because of the Cortex and how it can provide instant access to all believers everywhere.
Yuck.
I am so done with brains and the Universal Church of crap.
The way the church spreads their faith check everything, it's like some weird disease.
Guardian of Galaxies, Cosmo is owing all short death.
Welcome back! Hey, we've got an army of church dudes between us and the Cortex. You coming?
Ned, Cosmo is retaking power and security, where his paths are hiding. Without power, nowhere is being lost.
Her justice!
Gotcha! Be careful up there, buddy. The better!
I have seen many exposed brains, but never one this gargantuan!
Switch their lights out! That floaty mind guy is really starting to tick me off!
So, let's take that sprint-neck soldier out then!
The big one is all mine! When possible, circumvent electrical hazards!
This is so gross!
At least it's something dry this time! You really need to invest in some firepower, Gamora!
Good work, you two! I don't think we need to worry about those mines! I'm ready! Just find me an opening!
What is next, Peter Quill?
Those poor goons got brain security detail.
Gross.
That's a lot of brain powder.
Yeah, that stuff will turn your airway to sludge. Gray lung, they call it.
Good thing I've got my mask.
Oh, that won't help. Them particles are so fine, they're already seeping right in. You probably already got the gray lung.
Lungs are already gray.
And you know that...
I have seen them. Many times.
Groot's asking if there might be tiny people. Well, for somebody who wants out of here, you're sure doing a lot of hanging around.
I can't get back up to the catwalks.
There's gotta be something we can use to get up there.
Yeah, I'm looking. Drax, little help, Peep-Ho?
Readily!
Set her down, bud.
What are you doing? That's the way we came.
I'll be quick.
Hurts to see all my investments go up in smoke.
What investments?
Couple seed fundings into illegal weapons research, funneled some units into goon training, couple of bets.
You had units this whole time?
No, they were invested.
Drax, this one's all you.
Gladly.
What's in all those towers and pods?
There ain't no zone in here, so could be anything. I know one of them's half library and half pleasure pod.
Really hope it survived.
Drax, over here! Hurry!
I move as swiftly as is necessary.
Quill, you know I was just messing with you.
What's that?
There ain't no such thing as gray lung.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Oh, you so fell for it. Gray lung. Ooh.
Did you guys know?
Oh, yeah.
Naturally.
You're always good for a laugh, Quill.
Any ideas, Gamora?
I can probably get you up there. What do you see?
Same stuff, but higher?
Perhaps there is a way to steer nowhere directly into the rift.
Can't risk it if Nikki's here.
You want to erase the best place in the galaxy? No way!
Careful, this place is practically falling apart.
Be all of nowhere looks like this soon.
It'll get back on its feet.
Giant head does not have feet.
It used to.
Ding, ding, done. Now that that's done, can we get a move on, Jelly Legs?
I've been thinking.
So they just up and left all this once they discovered the Cortex?
If by up and left you mean that mutt went barking mad and booted everyone out, then yup.
Not surprising. Imagine that thing falling into the wrong hands.
We don't have to.
I don't know what's more dizzying in this place, looking up or looking down.
Do neither. Look your enemies in their eyes.
What if I could? Staring down somebody's crotch ain't as effective.
Hey, Groot. Think you can get me up there?
I'm Groot.
Right about there.
This seems imperfect to the task.
I want to get a look from up high.
Scoping?
Scoping. It smells weird.
It's the brains. Goes sour if it sits too long.
Smells like metal and, I don't know, something else.
Rhea.
What's that?
It's the waste product of a large Catathian slug.
I'm not sure slug piss is exactly what I was thinking of.
It is unmistakable.
I'm surprised Thanos never tried to take Nowhere's resources during the war.
Don't ever underestimate the Collector's political power. He's got something to bribe everyone.
The Church accepts no bribes. We seek only submission.
Thereabouts.
I am Groot.
Tremors have intensified.
That's one way of putting it.
It is an accurate statement.
Well, it don't help none. For all we know, that thing's about to blow. Oh, what have they done to you? my baby.
You, okay, Rocket?
No, I ain't okay. The Cortex, nowhere. What's gonna happen to this place? This filthy dump of cheap booze and shady units is the closest thing I got to a home.
This isn't the first time someone's tried to take over Nowhere, and it won't be the last. We've still got Cosmo on our side. Once we give the church the boot, he'll whip this place back into shape.
Hopefully not too good a shape. Thanks, Quill.
What do the buyers do with all of the brain matter?
They buy bone scrapes and spinal fluid, too.
Why?
They're mostly scientists, trying to understand the mysteries of the universe or create the next big weapon. Minor hiccup we need to consider. How do we even shut down the Cortex now that it's all supercharged?
Yeah, there ain't gonna be an easy off button on that thing.
Any chance you can hack it?
We ain't talking about some junky appliance.
The Cortex isn't the problem here. It's the Flarknards who've hijacked it. We take them down, and the Cortex is just a machine with nobody at the wheel.
How do you know there is a wheel? I saw no wheel.
Yeah, there ain't no wheel, but I don't like the idea of just leaving that thing powered up with church. Focus on them faith conduits. I'm betting they all route through the same junction. That's gonna be the weakness.
A whole lot of them!
Soon to be one less!
Quill's killing loopy cops now! Music to my ears!
Knock some sense into him!
Chop them up! Freeze! I will find new ways to kill you!
You guys should run! When he says that, things get messy!
Getting real sick of these skips bringing more goons!
How many do they have?
These renegades are relentless!
He's going to collapse!
No! We ain't gonna let it! Yay! More brains up ahead!
I'm gonna have nightmares about brains!
This has got my name on it! We can't keep getting pulled into skirmishes!
Like we have any choice. They shoot, we shoot.
Over here! Guess we're climbing brains again.
Gotta get across that gap first.
All right, group, let's make a bridge of our own.
Watch out for quakes.
Man, I really hope Warlock makes it to the finish line.
No, Goldie ain't counting on us. To him, we're just a bunch of scuts soiling his fancy boots.
He's seen what we can do.
More importantly, we know what we can do. All right, easy now.
So, once we get Nikki, we wait for Warlock to catch up?
And the bug lady.
Our plan requires a great many people.
Who said saving the galaxy would be easy?
I do not recall anyone making that claim.
After kicking Raker's butt, I wouldn't be surprised if Warlock finds us.
That still leaves Mantis.
We'll have the Cortex by then. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump back to Lamentus. Careful, it gets a little... Whoa!
Peter, do you want to do the honors?
Totally. Watch this. Surprise, Scutbuggers! Let's see that sword!
Raker's congregation just lost a member!
Fish in a barrel!
We stand before your temple gates! Come out and die!
That was awesome! Creeps are coming from everywhere!
I wasn't expecting so many of them!
Rock and roll, Rocket!
Got a feeling we ain't gonna like what's on the other side of this! I have seen their worst in my own mind!
Breathing room, Bruce!
Is the whole church here?
Their focus should be divided between here and the men.
You got it!
You don't stand a chance!
Whoa! Glad she's on our side!
Don't forget, we're a team! Coordinate!
Just show me what the ventilates!
I'll try to talk Nikki down if she's in there!
I can't miss when there are this many goons!
Just don't shoot me in the back, okay?
I got all the
Last
scores
time
I've been
someone got
dying to use!
Cut him up, Nora! Almost there! Push through this!
About fucking time! Look out!
Watch it! They're crawling out of the woodwork!
Good! More for the bloody reaping!
Busted open the Nova Corps crackpot!
Way to knock some sense into him!
Load up, Rocket! You got this one! Do your thing! Let's show them they messed with the wrong freaking team!
Guess they ain't seen our business card!
Broke another cultist! Branch out, Groot!
My mind fills with rage! Just keep it pointed at the other team!
Crash! Kick their butts!
Ouch! That's gotta hurt!
Whole lot of pain coming your way!
That's one big, bad, scut robot!
Haven't had a brawl like this since the war!
Glad I sat that one out!
Hit him down, Groot!
Good riddance.
Now the true battle begins.
Everyone ready? Game face is on.
I have only one face.
Well, put it in mean mode.
Ha! Done!
What's everybody thinking?
I'm thinking if Goldie didn't finish him off already, I got a grenade with Raker's name on it.
Keep an eye out for Nikki. We get her away from these wackos, then worry about finding Warlock, Mantis, and whoever else.
I have faith your spawn will be saved, Peter Quill.
Let's not use the F word.
We're not gonna lose her again.
Everyone quiet.
What did they do to the Cortex?
Nikki!
They strapped her to their Flarkin machine, and they're making the hand direct all the galaxy's faith energy right into it.
Fulfillment has begun.
We gotta get her out of there! But how?
Free the hand, and they lose power. I count 4 cables. Let's pull them out.
anything to stop us!
The ritual that's gonna consume all life in the galaxy? Sorry, not sorry! All this faith is tinkling on my inside!
Get Nikki out of there before it kills her!
It ain't happening as long as all that juice is coming out of the hand!
Where's the warlock?
Practicing his poem somewhere!
The blockhead's amping up his buddies!
Let's sever his ties that bind!
These deluded souls do not know when to quit!
Can't believe they strapped her to a fucking machine!
Can't believe they've enslaved the floor. I can't believe they enslaved the continuum vortex! I mean, we've all thought about it, but still!
My faith!
We need to free Nikki! She must be so scared!
Looks safe enough in that bubble. They can't hear you, Quill! Quill, we gotta unblock these dancing things!
Working on it!
Having fun preying on the weak? That did something! Look at the hand!
Alright! One down, 3 to go! Nikki! Can you hear us? We're gonna save you!
That barrier must be soundproof!
Don't shoot the charged up tank, Quill! Wanna see some fireworks?
Why do you have to be so high up?
There's steps to get up there!
That bubble's drinking!
The next one, Peter!
Look at us! We're actually doing it!
You ever run through a super state jump down? What happens? Hey, Groot's right! The bubble's shrunk! We can get at that last plug now!
Then let's get to it!
Don't shoot! That one's throwing back face blasts!
The wizard gives them power! Take heed! Look! The sorcerer heals his ilk!
All we need to get Nikki out of there before it kills her!
As long as all that juice is coming out of the hand! Some that weirdos deserve it!
Watch who you shoot! That one's redirecting fire!
We gotta get rid of the floaters! Here we go! Oh no! I might need some help! Nikki! It's okay, I got you.
Hands off me!
Why do you insist on ruining everything? If you won't join me, then just stay away.
This is why I don't have kids.
Nikki, this isn't gonna end how you think.
Says who? You? I saw what you did. You should want to take it back. I can feel the light inside me. The promise will be fulfilled.
Does she not realize her plan has been thwarted?
This. A minor setback. Isn't that right, Grand Unifier?
The Cortex was meant merely to ease the burden on you, Matriarch. We shall retreat. Please, give me an excuse to kill.
Is this him? The first divine vessel?
A pale shadow to your magnificence, Matriarch.
Let him watch me do what he could not. I'll draw faith across the entire galaxy myself if I have to.
If you think you can handle...
I'll handle whatever it takes.
Nick.
Damn it! They ain't getting far. I got a tracker on Golden Boy's butt.
You what?
Yeah, I tagged him back on the bridge in case he ditched us again. We just gotta get back to the Milano.
Rocket, don't ever change.
Tracker's online. Confirming Goldie's on the Dastan Sacro Scut.
Seatbelts, everyone. We're going in hot.
Crap. Hold on. Hold on. Got him! Alpha Hercules system, inside the Keystone Asterism.
Got it. Coordinates are in.
You're not getting away this time. Power down, power down. Hell yeah! Nova Corps! The World Mind must have... Oh, come on.
Well, can't say we didn't try.
Nikki's in there somewhere. There's gotta be a way.
Yes, we overpower them with our own vastly superior fleet. Though regrettably, we do not have one.
Guys, we do our best work when we're out of options. Somebody's got to have something. Rocket, anything?
What about the Ravagers? You could ask for a temporary truce.
Yondu's rotting away in the kiln thanks to me.
Could bust them out.
Jailbreak the kiln. I'd rather take my chances with the church fleet.
I'll bust them out.
Yeah, I'd bet on Gamora.
As would I.
So would I, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the Ravagers scattered during the war. Any survivors are laying low or serving time in one of a dozen backwater planets. Besides, what's a pirate without a ship? Groot, and no bad ideas.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. We're not going to the Chitauri.
That is the kind of wild card we're looking for, just not that one. The snakes would shoot us in the back.
Assuming they don't shoot us in the front.
Drax,
You have royal blood. Perhaps it is time for the Prince of Spartax to return and rally his people.
You been to Spartax lately?
I have not. But Spartoi technology is well beyond...
Spartax was sacked during the war because of its tech. You can't even land there anymore. Gamora, thoughts?
Maybe Earth has heroes that can help us?
Those guys in the pajamas?
Mighty pajamas.
Trust me, Earth hasn't caught up to everybody just yet. We need somebody with a fleet. Hold on. What if the answer's been slobbering right in front of us this entire time?
Peter Quill, this beast cannot operate a ship.
That's not what I'm saying. Think about it. Cammy's pretty much useless to us, but she's also useless to the Church. They want people to brainwash. I bet animals aren't even on their radar.
They went after Cosmo.
Cosmo's mind is way more advanced than ours. His intelligence makes him weak to the promise, just like Rocket.
Thanks, but not an animal.
What I'm saying is we know someone with an entire beast army, and I bet Raker hasn't even looked twice at her.
How can you be certain she is not one of them?
I am Groot.
Guardians of the Gut!
Nope, she's good.
You do realize she still wants to flay us and feed us to her babies?
Guys, this is it. Okay, our one last long shot. We've got to find a way to apologize and make things right. Okay, we'll get her a gift. A peace offering.
I ain't going back in a cage.
No, think bigger. Way bigger. The one beast that she'd want more than any other. Drax knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes!
Oh, no.
Here it comes!
You know where we're going!
To Maklu 4! To battle the legendary Fin Fang Foom!
We're totally gonna fly into that, aren't we?
They say that the rings of Maklu 4 perpetually rain fire down upon the godless abominations that dwell below.
How fun.
I'm sure it's worse than it looks, too.
It is. Many of my people braved this same treacherous pilgrimage before me, never to return.
Hang on to something!
Show off?
Hey, if you got it!
Clark!
No! Stabilizers are shot! Repair systems are overloaded!
If we are destined to crash, try at least to crash into Fin Fang Foom!
Nobody's crashing!
Oh, we're crashing!
These peaks are treacherous!
Whoa!
Clark!
Just trying to slow us down!
Fear! Fear!
Stop yelling!
Fear!
Watch out for the thing, Peter!
Which thing?
Pretty sure she means all the things!
Peter!
Watch out for the thing! Yeah, I got it!
Oh, Scott! Oh, Scott!
Glorious!
How are you enjoying this?
I am not! I am embracing death!
Coming down, Humble! Okay. Oh, a little bumpy, but we're all okay, right? And laughing. That's good.
It's perfect. This is us. This is how we park.
Well, this is how Quill parks anyways.
We were not fated to die this day. Unless, of course, Fin Fang Foom devours us whole.
Hey, whoa, we gotta find him first. Shall we? Oh, this is insane.
This is how we park, yeah. Whoa! That definitely shouldn't be sparking!
We can worry about that after we catch our dragon.
And convince Lady Hellbender to help us bust the church a new one.
Before setting out on our quest, let us rouse our spirits with a Catathian battle anthem.
What? Like now?
You know what? Flark it. Let's do it.
Listen closely. Ancient Catathian is a powerful tongue with words that hold great meaning. Follow as I lead the melody. Sotraju tuklub, Heldagor Morgath, Soltath Flandergath.
Sothraju Tudluk.
Heldargo Morgath, Soltath Flandurgath.
Targath Gonot Kol, Volmalki Ultath, Gothan Kol Galmak.
Targath Gonot
Volmaki Ultath, Gothan Kogalmach.
Pelmafin Sarduth, Judkain Agultau, Gothen Kogalmak.
Pelmafin Sarduth, Judkain Agultau, Gothen Kogalmach.
Galmak, Galmak, Soltath Flandergath.
What does that last line mean, Drax?
Soltath Flandergath. It means we will be victorious.
The Milano isn't gonna self-destruct or anything while we're gone, right?
How many times do I gotta tell you? The ship probably ain't equipped with self-destruct systems.
All set to take on Foom Rocket?
They say that a single one of his claws is bigger than a fully grown man.
Considering how those legends about Hellbender turned out, that dragon's probably as tall as Groot.
All good, buddy?
I'm Groot.
Ready for our biggest battle yet?
I am Groot.
He was more worried about us killing each other over the past few cycles.
I knew this day would come. I was destined to battle the Dragon Lord of Kakaranthara.
Bet you didn't think you'd be fighting him with this team of a-holes.
I did not. But I am thankful fate has granted me this honor. Despite your best efforts, you are an honorable man, Peter Quill.
Thanks, Drax. We're gonna pull this off. I know it.
Of course. We have to. For Nikki. Ever fought a dragon before? Sounds fun, actually.
Only in the arcade. That's good enough, right?
At last, the hunt for Fin Fang Foom truly begins.
A monster that big's gonna leave serious marks all over the planet. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Looking for Foom Poop. Great.
All right, let's do this.
Shivering tit wishes it's cold.
That's not really how that saying goes.
You want to correct me? Or you want to find Fin Fang Foom and save the galaxy?
I want Fin Fang Foom.
And the galaxy-saving thing, I guess. Assuming Hellbender even goes for this.
Lady Hellbender will go for it.
Okay, Well, I ain't seeing no foom poop.
We should look for Catathian hunt markers, testaments to the bravery of those who came before.
By bravery, you mean...
Glorious death.
And what do these hunt markers look like?
Like great stakes planted with honor and encircled.
That was too close!
The legends of raining fire are true!
Any other legends we should know about?
Legends of glorious death!
Well, as long as it's glorious.
We sure we'll still have a ride home with all the meteors?
She can take a hit.
We literally just crashed because she couldn't take a hit.
And she's still in one piece.
Watch out! This place is falling apart!
We did not come here to be slain by ice and rocks. There is only one noble way to die on Mach 4, like so many of my people before us.
Someone remind Drax we ain't come here to die!
No one's dying! We're taking Foom alive. We're handing him over to Lady Hellbender alive. And we're getting her to help us take on the Church's armada.
So in this plan of ours, the armada part is where we die?
Maybe, but definitely not before that.
Go, team!
Looks like a dead end.
Glorious dead end.
Gotta admit, I kinda love how excited you are about all this.
All right, Drax. Channel some of that excitement toward this rock.
I shall pretend it is the head of Fin Fang Foom.
Great. Drax just shattered the skull of the thing we're supposed to capture.
Bye-bye, Galaxy.
You have nothing to fear. They say that his bones cannot be crushed.
Groot says he wants to take it all in. Take your time, buddy. Might be our last chance to take anything in.
Think Foom's in there? If fantasy books taught me anything, it's that dragons love to hang out inside mountains.
Groot wants to know if those books said anything about catching dragons.
I'm sure it had something to do with teamwork and trust.
You can't remember the details because he didn't read the whole thing.
I read a lot of different dragon books, okay? And there was always a mountain, and the good guys always win.
Ain't no one writing a book about us.
I think I see something up ahead!
Look, my people were here.
Didn't we see these in Drax's memories, when Mantis linked us all together?
They're Catathian hunt markers.
That's a lot of brave Catathians.
After Thanos raised Katath, my people were left broken, physically and mentally. Their exodus led many of them here in great numbers.
So how many of these hunters came back?
None.
They were all victims of Fin Fang Foom?
Not victims. They came for the ultimate battle. A truly glorious death.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're a part of something here?
Oh yeah, part of Foom's all-you-can-eat buffet.
I mean, walking in the footsteps of Drax's people, out here to save the galaxy, makes you want to believe in destiny.
I'm not trying to kill the moment or nothing, but everybody listed here was destined to be Monster Chow.
If we all die, we will die like proper Catathians.
If we all die, everyone dies. Magus is gonna consume everything.
Then let's catch Foom and make sure that doesn't happen.
The sky is particularly fiery this day. Fin Fang Foom is ready for us.
Okay, team. If we can't make quick work of this thing, we got no right going after Fin Fang Foom.
Well said, Peter Quill.
Blow them away, Rocket! Make them hurt, Gamora! Oh, it's like a walking pile of symbols! What's this thing, bro?
Thing reminds me of... What did you call it, Rocket?
The rodent called it Stumpy! Its stomach may be the key!
We really don't have time to mess around like this!
Tell that to the frozen cat thing! This one just eats ammo!
Stay away from its wafting exhalations!
like an iced-up version of Stumpy!
Perhaps it shares the same weakness!
Been too long since I blew something up!
What's next, Peter?
Blitz of rockets! How do I hurt this armored mushroom freak?
I am trying to destroy! We will defeat this beast! We will capture Foom! It is our destiny!
And don't forget the part about getting rich in the end!
What the fuck? Mushrooms aren't usually this tough!
We need to teach this freak to roll over!
Hey! We're here for Foom, not for you!
Battle Finfang Foom! We must first prove our worth!
Let loose, Rocket! Run him! This is like an iced-up version of Stumpy! No mentioning Stumpy! Remember last time? This blackguard's sucking up all my shots!
Chop, chop, Cora!
We really didn't leave it mushroom to breathe!
Yes! Now bring on Finfang Foom!
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much bigger and stronger and scarier is Foom gonna be than the thing we just fought?
10,000.
That's what I figured.
No one said this was gonna be easy, Rocket.
Right, but 10,000 times, Quill, Drax is the literal one, remember?
Obviously, our chances of pulling this off suck. A lot. But what chance does the galaxy have if we don't pull it off?
Exactly. We all saw what the Church is capable of. No matter what this planet throws at us, we're not stopping until we catch Foom and Lady Hellbender's fighting by our side.
So, are we sure the Milano's gonna be okay? Because if we end up stranded here...
The Milano should be fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
And even if we do end up stranded, we shall live like kings off the meat of Finfang Foom.
Gamora, I'm thinking I can get a pretty good vantage point from the top of this thing.
Okay, just be careful, Peter.
I can see the whole crater from up here. Maybe Foom's not in the mountain after all. Maybe he's down there somewhere.
You tell us!
I mean, if I were a dragon, I definitely want to stop around down there.
Legends do tell of Finfang Foom stalking Maklu's greatest caldera.
Good enough for me. We can probably work our way around the edge and find a way down.
Let's just say we do catch Finfang Foom. We're just gonna drag him all the way back?
I'll call the Milano over and we'll hook him up with the tow cables. I'm assuming he can survive deep space.
Finfang Foom hunts on multiple worlds.
Perfect.
Need some blade work here.
Cutting right up!
Flark and Hala!
Whoa, get a load of them claw marks.
They've got to be Foom's, right?
He is even bigger than his legend.
Okay. I'm thinking this is step one of a multi-step solution to get across this chasm.
All right, and what are the next steps?
Still working on that part.
I could clear the rubble from that ledge, Peter Quill. I just need something to throw.
How about Quill? Come on, it's not so bad.
His fleshy frame would make a poor instrument of demolition.
Thanos would have loved this planet. I think I see what he's up to.
Yeah, crushing us all!
Final step, Drax. If we can topple some of those rocks, we got ourselves.
Glorious!
I swear, I've never seen you in such a good mood.
Because you have never seen me on the Great Hunt before.
What about our quarantine zone mission?
You mean our quarantine zone bust?
Drax, I know you've been waiting for this a long time. Enjoy it, man.
Thank you, Peter Quill. I must admit that with everything that has happened, I need this.
Yeah, well, maybe if we'd listened to you from the start and just gone after Foom.
Then we'd probably be dead. We so weren't ready before.
Everyone get ready. There's something up ahead.
Pretty sure it sees us, whatever it is.
Great, more Foom food to deal with.
Do not underestimate anything that survives the perils of this planet.
Good advice.
Peter! I wonder if Fin Fang Foom's gonna spit ice or fire at us!
Mighty Beast has several legendary attacks! I will not spoil the surprise! The rest of you should think that this is a warm-up for Fin Fang Foom!
I've never believed in warming up! Kill that and get out!
No, they don't look like the worms I used to have!
And the hunt for Fin Fang Foom continues.
Okay, let's just think things through a moment.
Since when is that a thing we do?
What if we're too late? What if Breaker finishes what he started and the ritual...
Then we're doing all of this for nothing.
Not for nothing. If our final act is to challenge Fin Fang Foom, it will be an honorable final act.
I don't do final acts. I'm a survivor.
Let us hope we are not too late.
All right, let's figure out a way to get through here. We're in a rush, apparently.
Let's do it. One step closer. I hope. There. See? More ominous peaks.
This planet's starting to give me the creeps. I keep thinking Foom's gonna claw us from behind.
Fin Fang Foom is a legendary beast. Legendary beasts do not claw from behind.
Maybe not, but smart ones do.
Mind helping us across?
Legends say that Fin Fang Foom can will himself from one dimension to another, should he choose to do so.
So what if he chooses to do that while we're kicking his ass?
Well, then we will have been bested. I must hope that in some other timeline we will have fared better.
You think we're this desperate in other timelines, too?
Not the one where I'm leader.
They say that Fin Fang Foom uses the planet's treacherous surface to test would-be adversaries.
Oh, it's Lady Hellbender legends all over again.
Careful! That's deadly gas.
How do you know?
Hello? She's an assassin? I bet she's gassed all kinds of famous people.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Anyway, let's go, Quill. Use them fancy guns of yours to freeze the source. So here's an idea. Why don't we lure Foom into one of these gas caves? Knock him out.
Cowardly. I want full credit for the kill.
For the last time, Drax, we're not killing Fin Fang Foom. We're catching him to give the Lady Hellbender so she forgives us and hopefully helps us fight the Church.
seems coming.
Wait! Rocket, are you neck deep in water?
We're about to stare down a legendary dragon with the fate of the entire galaxy at stake. I ain't gonna hold us up.
Wow. I'm impressed. You really conquered your fear.
Yeah, well, it ain't about me no more.
Bust it up, Drax.
Stand back!
Instead of giving her foam, any chance Lady H might settle for a few...
Flesh monsters arrive for us to shred!
You'd think the death of their kin would scare them off!
Many Catathians have perished upon these slopes!
Yeah, well, good thing I'm not Catathian!
Groot? Loving the initiative.
Sodraju to Glug! Sodraju to Glug! Heldagor Morgath! Soltat Flandergath!
I think you can anchor to this wall.
Seems doable. Yeah.
Muffin Sardut! Jud Kain Ageltau!
This is definitely in Drax's wheelhouse.
Galmat! Galmat! Soltat Flandergath! Galmak, Galmak, Soldat Flandergath.
Nice! Who won't know what hit him?
You will be more resilient than a boulder, Peter Quill.
I know. I'm just trying to be positive.
Why?
I think it's a team building thing.
We require no further team building.
Honestly, after everything we've been through, there's no one I'd rather be doing this with. I flarkin' love you guys.
Gross.
Some things are better left unsaid, Peter.
Yeah, way to ruin it. Let's just get back to catching Foom and saving the galaxy.
I am in love with you as well, Peter Quill.
This place is crumbling all around us.
Pelmafin Sardu, Jordaina Golnau, Dothen Kogalmak.
Careful!
Very, very sharp! This is nothing compared to the legendary teeth and claws of Fin Fang Foom.
You know, I'm gonna be really disappointed if he doesn't live up to all the hype.
Assuming we live that long.
Peter, look! There's smoke ahead.
Think it's Foom?
More likely it's people.
Great. Maybe they'll know where he is.
Or they'll attack us on sight. I could probably infiltrate the camp, look for weak links, make an example of the right person, bleed them out in front of their crew. The shock of it will cause confusion or maybe even surrender, and we carve through the rest.
Hey, is everything okay? We didn't really talk after your,
The killing my sister thing?
Yeah, and other tangential topics.
I'm fine. Ish.
Okay.
Peter, there's a good chance Nikki's already lost.
No, I don't accept that.
And if she is, I know I'll be the one expected to make the hard call.
She's my daughter.
But I'm the killer. We both know that.
It's not gonna come to that.
And if it does? If it's a choice between her and literally everything else, Peter, you'd do anything for someone you care about. And we both know that
We both know that you would as well. Which is why you're exactly who I need to bring my girl home. Alive.
I hope you're right.
Targagon od kol, vol malki oltat, gotain kol galmak.
Foom! It's foom!
Yes!
Or just one huge flarkin' rock! Yes! Yeah, Ominous is right!
Here goes!
I don't like this!
Oh, glorious! Kind of amazing. Also really terrifying. Hello? We're looking for Fin Fang Foom. You seen him? Big wings, nasty teeth.
Purple shorts?
What do you mean, purple shorts?
What, I heard he wears purple shorts.
Ancient legends do tell of such a thing.
See?
That's gonna hit us!
There ain't no way through!
Follow me!
Into a wall!
Trust me! Oh, yeah. I like this one.
Let's see those things in action.
I'm on it.
Melt that one, too! At least it ain't quite as cold in this cave.
You're the one with fur.
And that one!
Good thing that rock tried to murder us, or we'd have never got Quill's sweet new power. Maybe we should almost kill you more often.
That's not how it works. It's when people I care about are in danger, and then I get this feeling.
Oh, I get it. It's like faith energy.
No, it's not like...
Relax. I believe you. I am so jealous right now, Quill.
You should be. Step aside, mortals. Allow the Meltonator to do his mighty.
What is that?
Come on, Rocket. We got past your fear of water.
That ain't water.
How did you know your guns would work back there?
They've saved us 3 times already.
I mean, how did you know they'd melt that ice wall?
Oh, I didn't.
So we could have just as easily died horribly.
Yep.
Fortune smiles upon us this day, my friends.
We just almost got crushed by a giant meteor.
Indeed. Almost.
He's got you there.
I swear, Quill, you get all the fun toys.
What? What about that weird gun you have that turns people inside out?
Oh yeah, the zipper. Man, I gotta fix that thing.
Heave it, Groot!
I am Groot.
Just about there.
What the Flark?
It might be his name. Maybe he's trying to communicate.
Please don't.
I am Groot.
Star-Lord! See? Star-Lord! Is it just me, or did he sound a little irritated?
No, there was definitely hatred in that voice.
Ha! Always the charmer, Quill. You think Golden Boy is getting tortured right now?
More likely Warlock is torturing Raker.
The Golden One is formidable.
I think she meant with his mouth, Drax.
That is not an effective means of torture.
Check out these pointy trees.
Don't check them out too closely.
Ah! It burns!
I am Groot.
Groot says they've got corrosive spores. Maybe don't get too close. Yeah, I think we've earned a vacation. Preferably on a normal planet where nothing's trying to kill us. Burn, baby, burn! Nice! I ain't ever gonna get tired of that.
Keep your eyes peeled. Smell an ambush.
Groot says those plants deserve it.
Keep it up. I'm actually starting to get warm.
Those things grow in a frozen hellscape. I think they're made of sturdier stuff than that.
I imagined Fool would sense our arrival and rush to face us. I am disappointed.
Maybe he's hiding from us.
Unlikely.
We did kick the crap out of that ugly Dweller thing.
Spank both blood brothers.
Another plant falls to Captain Heatglob.
Nope, still not tired of it.
With all these exceptional beasts, it is a wonder Lady Hellbender does not move her home here.
It's a little cold for Lady Skullsuit.
Drax seems to be doing okay. Nice shot, Peter. Okay, you're just killing weeds at this point.
Nope, still not tired of it.
Nice shot, Peter. Maklu 4 is beautiful. Okay, you're just killing weeds at this point.
Nope, still not tired of it.
Nice shot,
Look, Quill, it's your new best bud.
I'd say communication has failed.
Another affair.
Looks like they've evolved to survive these conditions.
Their hide shall make an excellent coat. Beware! It's a breathing room, Groot! Ah! A good fight warms the blood! Or you can try a sweater! Why can't we
What can I say, Quill? You bring it out in people!
No doubt these beasts serve as sustenance for food!
Good! Then we're depriving him of a meal!
Don't expect them to say much more than Wendigo!
Gamora, slice him up!
Looks like they've evolved to survive these conditions.
Next time we hunt monsters on a tropical paradise!
No wonder they're grumpy, living on this hunk of ice!
Are you kidding? This is me before coffee!
Find another snack, buddy!
Or perhaps you would prefer the whole meal! No doubt these beasts serve as sustenance for food!
Good! Then we're depriving him of a meal! This has got my name on it!
Peter Quill, unleash me onto these fools! Oh, you fucker! Do your thing, Gamora! They remind me of the abominable snowman!
They're about to be snow corpses! Looks like they've evolved to survive these conditions!
Well, I hope they like dying in them!
Where'd they go home? Get it?
I don't think they're listening!
I am
Finishing
unsure what you
touches on the
speak,
angry
but the
snow
Wendigo is
There's
dead!
only room for one. Okay, I'm done playing with the snow monkeys.
Wendigo.
Is that really what we're calling them?
Hey, they're the ones who keep yelling Wendigo. See?
Sounds like we haven't seen the last of them.
Maybe Hellbender will want to add some of those Wendigo to her army.
Assuming they don't hold a grudge.
Hey, they started it.
So much for not holding a grudge!
Fork off! What do you think, Quill? They still just trying to communicate!
Heads up!
Did they just herd us into their zoo?
Looks more like a dinner plate!
Let's make sure we don't end up on the menu.
Hold fast! Light him up, Rocket! It's a breathing room, Groot!
This is a bad tactical position!
We were kind of in a hurry! Whoa! You see that thing?
That thing was freaking nasty!
It's like the whole planet came out to play!
It's my kind of game!
These creatures were once spacefaring!
Lob it at him, big guy!
This reminds me of our monster hunt in the prohibited area!
Let's hope.
Rocket! Do your thing! Wreck 'em, Drax! I can't believe those snow monkeys got the jump on us!
Wendigo!
Watch your back!
Yes! Bring me more!
Don't wear yourself out before the main event, big guy!
Yeah, I think they hold a bit of a grudge.
Uh-oh.
What's next, Peter? Hey, it's that Jack Clark who was hucking rocks at us.
Let us return the favor! What is next, Peter Quill?
What's next, Peter?
Groot! Show him your roots! My butt still hurts from that slide!
That ain't the pain in the ass I'm worried about right now.
Drax! Shut him down!
Yes! Bring me more!
No one takes joy in their work like you, Drax!
You guys get a load of that wrecked ship?
See? I'm not the only one who can land in this weather! Wrap 'em up! It's like the whole planet came out to play!
This is my kind of game!
Chop up, Gamora! Mess him up, Drax!
Destroy! This reminds me of our monster hunt in the prohibited area!
I think you mean the quarantine
We
zone!
killed their leader. They should leave us alone now.
Or seek revenge.
Think that wreck is the camp we saw?
Nah, this thing has been here for ages. Look, the smoke's coming from the other side of it.
We're close, but we're gonna need to get up there.
Oh, please. It's probably the least dangerous thing on this planet.
All right, Groot, give me a boost.
I am Groot.
About yay high.
Yay is not a unit of measurement.
Groot knows what he means.
All right, heads up. I'm gonna drop something down for you guys. Look out below!
Ha! That'll work.
You think those creatures were using this ship for shelter?
Screw them. They're dead.
I never truly believed this day would come.
What, freezing your nips off with a bunch of us?
The day that I would prove myself against Fin Fang Foom. When Katath fell, many of my brethren sought to redeem themselves by slaying the great beast.
Here, give me a hand.
We should be ready. We don't know the source of that smoke. Could be more hostiles.
Maybe it's just a nice warm fire and some Sakaran spirits.
Uncharacteristically optimistic for you.
Ooh, maybe it's a barbecue.
What's barbecue?
What? You guys have never had barbecue? Charbroiled burgers, grilled steaks, baby back ribs?
Why would you consume the ribs of an infant?
Told you Terrans were barbaric.
No, it's not. Trust me. You guys have got to try it.
Yeah, I'll pass on the eating babies thing too.
Whatever it is, it smells.
Bodies. It smells of bodies.
Jeez. Is all this Foom?
Undoubtedly.
Up ahead. Looks like there's a survivor.
Who goes there?
No head. She has no head.
I believe that repulsive tentacle orb is her head.
And I can hear you with it.
Are you the only survivor?
Clearly not. Who are you, meat sacks?
We're here for Foom.
Forget what I said. Yeah, I'm the only survivor. Or will be.
I take it you know where we can find him?
Sure. Digesting my men back at his roost. Big Eye's obelisk sticking out of the Caldera's frozen sea.
Don't worry, we'll take care of Foom.
Sure you will, Terran. Just don't come running back here when he chases you. I've still got some things to pack up.
You gonna be okay?
I don't need your pity, Terran. I'll head back to Contraxia and lick my wounds.
Ooh, hey, you may not want to do that. Contraxia isn't exactly safe right now.
When is it ever?
Seriously, maybe you should just come with us.
I've been embarrassed enough today without taking help from a stranger. I can look after myself.
Well, if you hear people talking about a promise with a matriarch, just steer clear.
I'll keep that in mind.
Sorry about your men.
Dead men collect no paychecks. Speaking of, aren't you the Mad Titan's daughter?
What of it?
Relax, I'm not looking for trouble. There was a time I'd have taken you in for the bounty.
There was a time I'd have killed you for trying.
Yeah, seems we've both got bigger problems right now.
Seems like. Don't take this the wrong way, but how did you survive the attack?
I wasn't hiding, if that's what you mean.
It wasn't.
I was getting supplies from our ship. Showed up just in time to see Foom devour the last of my men and fly off.
At least there's not much left to pack up.
Suppose there's that.
Any of you corpses mind if I help myself to your stuff? No? Well, thank you. Finders keepers.
Another hunt marker?
This one is unclaimed. No doubt it belonged to one of these corpses.
Guess they never got the chance to plan it.
I have appropriated it for our own use, to herald our bravery this day. It shall mark our ultimate conquest, or our glorious defeat.
Foom may be bad news, but he's nothing compared to the fight that comes next.
It shall mark our penultimate conquest.
One conquest at a time. Big ice thingy on the frozen sea, eh?
I am Groot.
You said it, buddy. Sure is a long way down.
Any advice on taking down Foom?
Yeah, don't try.
That bad?
My men barely scratched his armor.
Great. He has armor.
You better have some serious firepower if you're gonna take on the king of the ice planet.
All right, people. Let's catch us a dragon.
Yes. We grow ever closer to our great destiny.
You're awful chipper, considering Foom obliterated that camp like it was nothing.
We are not nothing.
I'm with Drax. No mountain too high, no valley too low.
Literally. In the case of this place.
Whoa! Take heed! The ice is amplifying our velocity!
This is how I die! Have you lost your fucking mind?
Come on!
All right, people. Let's catch us a dragon.
Yes. We grow ever closer to our great destiny.
You're awful chipper, considering Foom obliterated that camp like it was nothing.
We are not nothing.
I'm with Drax. No mountain too high, no valley too low.
Literally. In the case of this place.
Whoa! Take heed! The ice is amplifying our velocity!
This is how I die! Have you lost your fucking mind?
Come on! If you forget it's incredibly dangerous, it's actually kind of fun!
Indeed! Let's meet our death with you!
All right, people. Let's catch us a dragon.
Yes. We grow ever closer to our great destiny.
You're awful chipper, considering Foom obliterated that camp like it was nothing.
We are not nothing.
I'm with Drax. No mountain too high, no valley too low.
Literally.
Whoa! Take heed! The ice is amplifying our velocity!
This is how I die! Have you lost your fucking mind?
Come on! If you forget it's incredibly dangerous, it's actually kind of fun!
Indeed! Let's meet our deaths bemused!
Well, that takes care of the getting down part.
I don't even want to think about how we're gonna get back up. Or how we're gonna get Foom up there.
Look on the bright side. We may be dead.
Back on Earth, people would use dog sleds. A whole line of huskies pulling a sled across the ice.
Don't expect me to be the dog.
Actually thinking of the Wendigo, and Foom is the sled.
That's the craziest idea I've ever heard.
Yeah. I love it. Too bad that camp didn't have nothing useful, like a can of anti-foam spray.
Perhaps a copy of Fighting Fin Fang Foom, Volume 3, Dragon Slaying Techniques and Strategies.
Somebody actually wrote that?
No. I invented an imaginary book with an exceptionally verbose title in order to create levity.
Excellent levity, Drax.
Thank you.
Ooh, I didn't think it could get any colder.
You know, it's days like these I'm glad I installed seat warmers in the Milano.
Up ahead, there's the ice obelisk.
This must be it, the frozen sea.
This is the perfect spot. Here we will challenge the great beast. Fin Fang Foom! Come and face your death!
What are you doing? We can't get the drop on him if he knows we're here.
Also, we're not killing him, remember?
Shout with me. Here we demonstrate our mettle!
Fin Fang Foom! Your end draws near!
Nope, not his end.
Peter Quill, go!
Fin Fang Foom, it's nap time!
Rocket, it's your turn!
Did he just say my real name?
Rocket!
Fin Fang Foom! We're gonna decomboggle your flunking scut spigots! You hear me?
He hears you!
You scaly, overgrown Gordlesplode! You fessed lump of Satarkian shrub meat! You don't scare us!
It feels good, does it not?
Yeah! Yeah! It actually does!
Now, we disrobe!
Yeah, we're not doing that.
My blood thickens in anticipation of our great combat.
Gross.
Just through here. Be ready for anything.
That is technically impossible.
So, where is he?
Maybe we spooked him.
Impossible. Foom was born without fear.
You don't know that.
In the cold heart of a dying star.
Dying stars ain't cold.
This one was.
You think his lair's behind that?
Let's find out.
Beating him into submission.
We're gonna have to get through that ice armor first!
Not so invincible after all! Yeah, let's get the other piece! Let's put this guy back!
That's two!
You're the Bane of Ice, Peter Quill!
See? Bane of Ice isn't such a bad nickname!
Pass!
He's one of the boom, baby! How you like us now?
His opinion does not appear to have improved.
One to go! Fuck! He's stuck!
His rage rains down!
Watch the claws!
I intend to do more than just watch.
Quick! While he's stuck in the ice!
Ha-ha! He is as great as the tales foretold!
Hope Lady Hellbender likes her present!
I'll give him that! Ready! Look out below! Swing! Ha! Look at him struggle!
I don't think he's gonna come quietly!
Oh, I got just the thing to shut him up! What's wrong, Boom? Ice got your claw? He's friggin' huge!
The bigger they are, the harder they fall! Today, we earned our place in Utah!
I think Drax is having fun!
He's one of a kind! I'll give him that! We should have just carpet bombed him with the Milano!
We're not killing him, remember?
Now that's a tale!
Nice, Boom! Easy, Boom! Yes, Peter Quill! Lull him into a false sense of security! He is as great as the tails for gold!
Great ain't exactly the word I'd use!
Hope Hellbender appreciates we're going to all this trouble!
Lady sure knows how to hold a grudge!
Today, we earn our place in Utah! I don't want to think about Kentucky in heaven right now!
Big swing coming!
Rocket! Guys, huddle up!
We're killing it out there, Quill!
You see the look on their faces when they see me razoring down from on high?
Or the ones they make when they realize Groot's got him tied up in a
I
bow!
know! Never thought I'd say this, but fighting with you guys is fun!
Okay, yes. I get that it's all bubbly and sparkly out there. We're blasting shots at them and it's so much fun. But if we lose our focus, if we can't let go of these crazy thoughts spinning us upside down, we're done.
Who's with me? I am with you, Peter Quill!
Let me in!
The beast strikes! Hope Hellbender appreciates we're going to all this trouble!
Who wouldn't want a giant dragon?
Ah! Glorious rain of fire!
He's coming down hard!
Now is our turn to strike!
You said he had perfect.
What? Don't be ridiculous! Not so hot now, are you, Boo?
Bring it, you overgrown lizard! my time!
Come on, Foom! You'll like Sector 9!
Hellbender's what, huh? Oh, you tracks!
Watch out for his... well, everything!
He's distracted! Our victory is at hand!
Look out!
This don't get your brain this hard! We definitely got his attention!
What's wrong, Boom? Feeling exposed? Hold back now!
Is he talking to us or Boom? Groot, you're up!
This has got my name on it!
Gamora! Run him through!
You struggle in vain!
Danger! Feel free to give up, Boom!
Fool would never shame himself with surrender!
Look! He's stuck!
Time for the big guns! Pizza!
Watch out for his... well, everything!
Beast grows frantic! Our victory is at hand!
We definitely got his attention!
It is not his attention, I pray!
I am Groot!
My great strength is underutilized! Guard us while I assist the tree!
Stands to swear with Hellbender! Who wouldn't want a giant pet dragon? Well, before Boom figures it out! Been too long since I blew something up!
I'm ready! Find me an opening! Peter! You need to distract him! Incoming fire! Literally! Heads up!
He's trying to eat us!
Watch out for him! Everything!
Rain and bikes, Gamora! Let's hurry this up! I'm getting cold! I'm sure Boom will be happy to warm you up! Something! Photosynthesis? Thanks, Quill! Groot says he owes you one! Let's do this!
Thanks, Peter!
Groot! Slow him down! Time to shred him!
Suppose we had sold Foom as I originally suggested!
No quarantine zone! No fine! No church!
The ice isn't cracking, you big baby!
Quick! While he's stuck in the ice!
Up you get, little buddy! Look at those claws! Ha! Look at him struggle! Hold him down, Groot! Gamora, cut him down! Rip him off, Drax! Feel free to give up, Boom! Nice, and we'll go easy on ya! Are we even making a dent?
Flesh does not dent!
We seem to be making him matter! So that's progress!
Hold on to your tails! Let's hurry this up! I'm getting cold!
Then you are not fighting hard enough, Rocket! his undoing!
You okay? It's all you, Gamora!
Drax, destroy! With pleasure! Suppose we had sold Foom as I originally suggested!
Okay, Drax! You get to pick our next money-making scheme!
We definitely got his attention!
And he's got ours! You two get ready! We'll keep them distracted!
Let's hurry this up! I'm getting cold!
Cold already?
I can't believe we're fighting a dragon!
Believe it and shoot it!
Do not hold back now!
Who's been holding back?
What is next, Peter Quill?
Ready! Doc!
Go get him, Tiger!
Look! He's stuck!
Not gonna chop you down that easy! Round him up, Groot!
Suppose we had sold Foom as I originally suggested!
No quarantine zone, no fines, no church!
Beware his reach!
Feel free to give up, Boom!
Yeah, play nice and we'll go easy on you!
Now it's our turn to strike!
Rocket! Nuke! Now's your chance, Gamora! Sick of Drax! I can't believe
He's most desperate!
Yeah, and pissed!
And he's bound to get sloppy!
Slice and dice!
We definitely got his attention!
It is not his attention I crave!
Rocket! Blast him! Swear with Hellbender!
It's better, since we need a favor! Watch out for his... well, everything!
Beast grows frantic! Our victory is at hand!
One more time! Let's knock him out cold!
Doesn't look like he's gonna make it easy on us!
Beast is most dangerous when at his most desperate! We must not fail!
Now, Peter! Give it all you've got!
Gotta fight fire with fire!
Let her loose!
Yes! We stand triumphant! Foom has fallen!
Oh, hold on! No, wait, no! No, Lady Hellbender! Drax, stop! Guys! Wait, guys, don't! Lady Hellbender, we want to...
Nobody escapes my wrath, Floorboard.
Monster Queen of Seknarf 9, you said you'd hear him out. Promised.
Speak. I hope this is the one where you make a good speech.
We screwed up. We conned you. Robbed you. Killed your... baby. We can't take back what we've done. But we want to make it right.
Quill.
You murdered the Dragon Lord of Kakarantara! Ah! This isn't you.
Fate has finally brought the two of us together. Lord Foom.
The final harvest begins. Dead worlds, screaming across space. We must go. Now.
Someone needs to take a stand against the church. We could really use some help.
You pay one debt, then create another.
No, though I can kind of see...
Enough. I will gather my forces.
All right, let's go.
Yes! The noble Lady Hellbender shall fight alongside us this day. After we bested Foom the Invincible.
We found Drax's peanut butter and chocolate.
We are on the path to destiny, my friends.
I still can't believe we did it. We did do it, right?
We sure did, and we got Mantis back.
But we lost Warlock, and we'll need him to exercise the Magus once we shut down that ritual.
So we bust him out of cult prison. I've done jailbreaks before, we all have.
We still tracking him?
Oh yeah, that thing ain't coming out easy.
Good. Then all we gotta do is get there on time and hope Lady Hellbender does too.
She will. I'm certain of it.
All right. Let's gear up, people. Tie up any loose ends. Take a pee if you have to, because we're not stopping again.
Hey, Quill. Let me borrow your tunes.
Why?
I need to focus. Come on.
Do not drop that.
Mantis? What happened on the Mantis after we left? Last time we saw you, things looked dire.
It's a long story. We can talk about it after you do like Starguy says and use the bathroom.
I don't need to.
Alright, but don't say I didn't warn you in church Grandpa makes you do faith crunches.
Wait, Raker's gonna do what?
It depends. But at some point, someone says my name, and then there's a little bit of pee.
Great. I did not want to know that.
Oh yeah, little fuzzy. Maybe the little bit of pee is you.
Nope.
Aw, she says thank you for getting rid of Aiden Warsock. Apparently she likes me better.
Adam Warlock?
Yeah, him. She thinks I'm Bleats. It translates weird.
Mantis! I've got so many questions.
I know, and I've got so many answers. Like, seize the means of production. Or, it's not just a rash. Or, yes, it is gluten-free.
Not the answers I was looking for, but now I'm wondering about the questions.
What questions?
What happened on Lamentis after we left? You said some people would survive, but that doesn't fare super well for the others.
Many of the elders died. They didn't resist the invasion, but they would never accept the promise. It isn't their way.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. Their sacrifice bought time for me and the Kotati to hide most of the others. They will emerge when the galaxy is saved.
So you were able to hide them in the caves. Hope you told them to stay away from the fog. How did you convince Lady Hellbender to meet us on Maklu 4? You weren't even with us when we decided to go.
Actually, convincing her to go after you wasn't hard at all. But convincing her to hear you out? Whew, that was tough. I had to get all creepy mystical and spook her with warnings about what would happen otherwise.
You told her about the end of the universe, and she believed you?
Oh, no, not at first. But when I brought up all her precious monsters dying, she came around. Couldn't take that chance with her babies, you know?
Well, I'm glad to have you with us.
Oh, good, because you're not always glad.
Why not?
Well, sometimes I'm your ex-wife.
What?
I think she's pulling your leg, Quill.
It only ever happens the one time, but it's so funny. I don't know what it is, but this you really likes closing fridges.
The door keeps opening, so I close it.
But it's broken. I mean, it's always broken. It's a universal constant.
Huh. More you know.
Hey, Rocket. Working on something?
I'm always working on something.
You're not listening to my tunes?
No, you turned the music on.
Then can I have my player back?
Why? You already got music playing.
Right. So you don't need the player to focus anymore.
You might turn it off.
Yeah, but...
What part of I need to focus don't you get, Quill?
What do you need to focus on so badly anyway?
Something that might give us a way to get through the Armada around Sacrosanct. Just in case Lady Skullsuit doesn't show up in time.
Nice. What is it?
You'll see. It's more fun crafting my stuff, but I'll lend you a paw. If I had a unit for every minute of my time you waste with your flarkin' ideas.
Good thinking. Get the watering sorted out before we go.
I am Groot. I am Groot.
He looks so sad, swishing around in his robes.
What'd he say?
Groot wants to water the Grand Unifier.
Oh, right.
The soaked unifier?
The Grand Humidity!
I am Groot.
Now that's a knife.
It is indeed a spectacular blade.
Drax, hey, I was just...
There is no need to explain yourself, Peter Quill. Unlike the rodent, I do not mind when others are curious about my things.
It's a really cool blade.
With an equally impressive history.
You recognize it?
It belonged to Zatar the Unfinished, a great Catathian warrior king who led the first pilgrimage to Maklu 4.
Wait, so you're saying this is basically Excalibur?
I am unfamiliar with such a weapon.
It's a mythical sword belonging to a famous Earth King.
Then yes, I suppose you could say this is the Excalibur of my people. It is a symbol of a king and the great hunt he inspired for those seeking to regain a place in Ultath.
So, this great hunt thing seems like a bigger deal than I thought. Did we mess it up for everyone by capturing Fin Fang Foom?
What do you mean?
Well, its purpose is to regain entry into Catathian heaven and stuff, and now there's no Foom to, you know, send you there.
Ah, Peter Quill. There are many paths to Ultath. The pilgrimage to Maklu 4 is but one of them.
Right.
When Thanos murdered my family and destroyed my village, twice I chose the path of revenge. First, I raised a small army of Catathian warriors. Even outnumbered, we cut our way through the Chitauri line and challenged Thanos himself.
Wait. On Katath, you faced Thanos twice during the Galactic War?
Yes. But I was not strong enough the first time.
Strong enough to survive?
Thanos allowed me and a few others to live, to set an example. Defeated and humiliated, the surviving members of my squad chose to make the pilgrimage to Maklu 4. But I could not. I continued to walk the path of revenge. Until you helped me put the ghosts of Hovat and Kamaria to rest.
To be fair, I had a lot of help.
And yet you have given me a new purpose, Peter Quill. Seems my destiny was not in the mountains of Kakaranthara after all, but here, on this ship, with you.
Zatar sounds like a hero of yours.
King Zatar. And he is. Every Catathian warrior knows the story of his pilgrimage to Maklu 4.
Why is he called Zatar the Unfinished, then?
In the history of my people, a rival king attacked Zatar's lands, easily overwhelming his forces. Captured and broken, Zatar challenged the rival king to a fight to the death, but the conqueror refused, banishing him to a life of dishonor and disgrace instead. So King Zatar went to Maklu 4 to challenge the mighty Fin Fang Foom and change his destiny.
Well, that's depressing.
How is it depressing?
Because he obviously failed. Fin Fang Foom's still alive and kicking, mostly.
He did not fail, Peter Quill. King Zatar did not vanquish Fin Fang Foom, it is true. But he did redeem himself in the eyes of his people.
By dying? Not exactly a happy ending.
By never giving up. A warrior only truly dies when he stops living. King Zatar proved that our stories, the records of who we were in life, are ours to shape. He could have died a coward who lost his place in Ultath, or he could do what I and many of my people believe he did, change the ending of his story.
Well, I'm glad you're here with us now. I can't guarantee where our path will take us, but hopefully somewhere with lots of money and comfort.
I do not have a doubt in my heart, Peter Quill, that we will have moderate success.
I'll accept moderate.
You're overwatering, Sir Groot.
I am Groot.
Yeah, leave him alone. I tinker when I'm stressed, Groot waters, Gamora meditates, etc.
When I'm stressed, I concentrate real hard, and sometimes I can see the birth of the universe. First, there's only one reality, and then, bam, all reality.
That's kinda cool.
Boris and Uberi, you wish to practice hand-to-hand techniques.
It's still weird when you say my actual name.
I am getting used to it.
We've come a long way since Murderous Sorceress. Wasn't it what you were calling me back on my first mission with the team?
Yes. At first I believed you had bewitched Peter Quill. I could see no other reason he would hire an assassin for a protection contract.
Really? No other reason than magic?
You could also have seduced him. He lacks mental fortitude in the presence of women.
True. If I remember right, he spent most of that protection contract flirting with the waitresses.
Oh, please, Quill, I'm trying to focus.
Didn't you borrow my player to focus by listening to my tunes?
Well, I can't listen to both at once, can I?
In retrospect, our team was eclectic on that first mission.
That's an understatement. Rocket seemed like the only one who knew what he was doing, and he did it in the most chaotic way possible.
What did he do with the detonation charges he found in the ventilation system?
If he hasn't used them yet, they'll probably be in a secret stash.
So the rodent does have a stash after all.
No, not like that.
What is it?
Your angle of attack was off. You have to go at it from the inside out, especially since Raker's body armor has inward folds.
Peter Quill, spar with me.
I think I'll pass, Drax. I don't want to get tired before the real fight. Bet those moves are really going to impress Lady Hellbender.
I do not need to impress her. Besting the great Fin Fang Foom is proof enough of my combat skills.
Yeah, that would do it.
I'm not sure Lady Hellbender was really impressed with how we handled that fight. You know, since we accidentally killed that dragon before Groot revived him.
Would you not be impressed by a man slaying a dragon?
Maybe if he does it without my help.
Raker's going down this time, Gamora. I promise you.
And I promise you, I'm getting Nikki out of there. No matter what.
We will get her out.
Together.
Together.
Sir Groot, I gotta say, I don't know what you told the Katati Guardians at the cave entrance, but they were very cooperative when I came back with the villagers.
I am Groot.
Wow! Okay.
Woo! Harsh words. Now I understand the fear in their branches. Spook them good.
Nice move there, Drax.